Hello.
Hello guys.
Hi.
Okay.
Hey guys.
Road accidents have come to be the leading cause of untimely death, disability and trauma in India and world over.
We built a device that's been tested by ARAI, which is India's apex body for automobile and automobile component certification and validation. Then we went on Kickstarter, which is a crowdfunding platform across the world. We successfully piloted our project there. And then we've also spoken to insurance companies, automobile manufacturers, and even fleet operators to make this available for cars, to make them safer, smarter, and protected in India. And as of now, we have about 1,000 customers who have ordered for the device and are waiting for delivery.
We are a 15-member awesome team with 3 co-founders. My name is Prasad. I'm CEO and co-founder, and my 15 years of product development experience in USA and in India have been leveraged for the development of SafeDrive, Rickshaw SafeDrive.
I'm Jan Jagdish. My decade-long experience in sales and marketing, I leverage that to make SafeDrive accessible and knowledgeable towards potential customers.
We have a third co-founder, Sai Tulluri, in Seattle, USA, who is basically handling the global operations. If you allow us, we have a very brief demo of how our product works, and we can show you that.
So SafeDrive can be bought from online store, and it can be installed by the user itself in 15 minutes. It works on any car, any model. Well, why just cars? It works on trucks, buses, and even auto rickshaws. So imagine a situation wherein you're in a crash.
Accident detected. For your safety, we are calling support center.
So within few seconds, the device will send the details of the crash to our command center directly, and it also dials them out. Yeah, Chetan, I'm fine. Thanks for checking on us. Jayant here, I'm doing a demo.
So as you can see, this is our demo. The device automatically calls,
Disconnected.
connects, and gets the information and gets us help automatically. We need your help. We need your help to scale this solution and take it to millions of people who need it badly in India. And our ask is 1.25 crores of your hard-earned money for a 5% equity in our company.
Wow, 1.25 crores for 5%. You lost me right there.
Is this fireproof and unbreakable? Because what in the accident, suppose this breaks?
So we are taking adequate measures in a stepwise manner. It can be made fireproof and to a certain extent unbreakable. Choose materials that are very difficult to destruct. You see, any safety technology has its limitations. Our product does have limitations, and one of them is that the device itself going and breaking out. But it is a very, very, very minimal amount of chances that it happens, and we are making adequate tests and also development to ensure it doesn't happen.
Where is it placed in the car? Like, is it on the car, back of the car,
Yeah.
front of the car?
It's put on the windscreen facing the driver. It sits here while you drive, so
Right.
it's accessible for the. But typically, it can work anywhere in the car.
How does it know it's a crash? Because like right now you just did this and it started talking to you.
So we spent almost 2 years in researching and doing it, and we have validated it. We're personally using the device in our own personal cars, and it has not given a false alarm.
But right now you just crashed it in a second.
So we can
Like I
detect
can't
if it is a
figure.
pothole or if it is an actual crash. There are different thresholds and different energy levels associated, which our device can detect. For our demo purposes, we were just
Oh,
checking.
fair enough. I was a little worried because
it's only
otherwise it will start
it's only
dialing.
for our.
If I drive, it will dial every 2 seconds
Other
probably.
you
You know,
should be
like,
talking to her the whole time.
I'll be like, hello, I'm all.
What
fair
was your
enough.
Kickstarter campaign? How much money were you raising, and how many devices did you sell?
So Kickstarter campaign we launched as a product from India for India. Normally Kickstarter is for all over the world.
world, yeah.
So from Kickstarter we have received around $16,000 raised from Kickstarter just from Indian customers, and we have succeeded our goal of that we had set.
How many orders?
We have around 80 units of orders from Kickstarter that we received.
That's not very big, right?
That's
On
not a Kickstarter.
That's not very
That's a
big,
kick.
but what I'm saying is that in Kickstarter, the number of companies from India who put up a product
Sure.
is only very handful, very few.
So then
and
why?
the number of people who are actually on Kickstarter from India are also very few.
Fair
So
enough.
How many orders do you have?
What does that have to do with
currently we have
We have over 1,000. We have another order with a PO saying deliver me 1,000 devices.
So are you trying to go B2C or you are working on B2B?
Our primary focus is B2C so that
That's
anybody
a
can
huge
do it.
distribution challenge. That's a huge distribution challenge.
So we have both in
Why
in
don't
our
you
hand.
talk to auto manufacturers?
We are speaking to two of the leading auto manufacturers. We're
Tell
working
me
with
something. Is this so you have to buy the product, and I guess there will be a subscription because if it's dialing, there will be a SIM card,
Yes.
and there will be like because you have a call center across India.
Our business model involves one-time sale of the device
Okay.
and an annual subscription fee. You're right.
What is that?
What is the price?
Can you describe your costs and pricing? Yeah.
We are now retailing this. We want to retail this at 10,000 rupees, one-time investment. That includes 1 year of subscription.
1 year subscription
Okay.
From the second year onwards, we're looking at about less than 2,000 rupees for an annual.
for 1 year annual. And the price point, with any kind of hardware type of solution depends on volume.
Obviously.
And what is your cost to produce when you're selling the device, and what is your cost of subscription?
We
every
have
year?
margins on individual device in 2 digits,
What does that mean?
25
Two
to
digits can be
30%.
99 also.
25 to
reason is
30%.
that- The reason is that our actual margins will emerge only when volume starts kicking
Yeah,
in.
of course,
got you.
So even if we give a number, it's
Give
not
us a
going
range.
to-
Give us a range.
Yeah, 20 to 30%.
20,
And it will only go north once you start
Yeah.
producing more, right? Okay.
20 to 30% gross margin.
Profit.
Is this gross margin,
Or
net
profit
margin?
margin.
Net margin.
No, gross margin is what?
If I have to deduct things, say,
Assuming at a 5,000 units or 10,000 units, what is your gross margin?
make it about 40.
40%.
Why is it so
That's
expensive?
quite low. Yeah.
Why do you think people are going to pay 10,000 rupees a year?
1,000 people have paid.
Yeah, but
already.
1,000 is not represented. That's a self-selected audience, right? I mean, let's look.
Right now, for example, when we look at a product-based business, right now our costs are very high, acquisition costs are very high. So we are actually selling at a higher price than, so that we basically can control our growth as well as have cash to execute and grow ourselves to a certain point. So once we know that the product has the marketing is in place and it's a product that is available and aware to our customer base, volume increases, the cost is severely brought down.
See, I
Another
can,
main
tell you,
reason-
I can tell you one thing. Globally, whenever there is an AMC or an annual charge involved, the manufacturers look towards selling the product just at the cost or something like that. See, your income should really come out of the AMC. You want the guy to buy the stuff. And then the
Definitely,
AMC starts kicking in.
Totally.
You know, the razor business is about blades, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not
Yeah,
actually about the
absolutely.
razors. But let me tell you where I am, right? I think this is a really, really tough sell. It almost sounds like the insurance business. In India, it's single-digit people are insured because most people think nothing bad will happen. to them.
Exactly.
You are asking me to shell out 10,000 rupees for something that I don't think will ever happen to me. Very, very tough sell in India. That's one. The second issue, guys, is that I think of this as a feature. I don't think of it as a business. I think it's very, very probable and probably around the corner that every car is going to have this very soon, right? It doesn't sound too involved unless you can tell me that there's a secret sauce that others cannot replicate. I'm not seeing that right now. Is there something like that?
Maybe there's a point that we haven't told. A couple of questions that you asked. Number one, why are the
No,
costs
just
high?
get to the secret sauce bit. Is there something
Even
that
the
others
world
can't
over,
replicate?
yes, car manufacturers are in the business of making
Making
cars.
cars.
We're in the business of managing emergencies. Anywhere across the world, they complement each other, and then one guy does not take over the other.
No. See, until now, it was not core to the car. It didn't matter, right? And that's why it was outsourced to a certain extent, and they worked together, right? I've lived in the US, and I could see how that was a very
I won't agree with that. It is part of the car already.
right. But it's given out to third parties, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
Same thing will happen,
Same
and
thing
we will
happen.
be the third party.
Even in India,
Except the change that's occurring now is car manufacturers are moving towards services, right? We're talking about car manufacturers working on autonomous cars. Therefore, services are becoming more and more an important part rather than the product itself. In such an environment, I don't think this stands alone as a business. I think this will very quickly become a feature in most cars, which will come at a very, very low cost. And for those reasons, I'm going to pass on.
So you can almost visualize maybe an app on a phone that uses the whatever is called what accelerator, what is that gyro in a mobile phone, which will detect motion which is excessive. Based on that, there will be a 30-second countdown. If I respond that it's not an emergency, then it will not be emergency. If I don't respond within 30 seconds, it will vibrate for 30 seconds. Then it will send 4 SMSs, contact the control center, etc. Changing consumer behavior is very difficult. So what happens is when you go with a completely new concept, go on the thing that you need it when this happens, then he buys it, 10,000 rupees, subscribes it. I also see a wire in it. Does it get plugged in somewhere?
Yes.
So, okay, that itself,
Electricity.
then you have to charge it, put a battery in it. It just multiplies the sales cycle even more in my mind.
One important thing that we have found out over the years is that the kind of devices you mentioned, like using a mobile app only solution, already exist. You can see several different solutions already in the app store.
Is one of them have become a $100 million company? The one
Because
that
it doesn't work in an app. This is an app-based
I think
solution.
his point is it doesn't have to be an app. It could be inbuilt into the phone, right? The phone device manufacturer could make it.
Yeah. So the difficulty
So it'll act
with
at the hardware layer, not at the software layer.
The difficulty with integrating the entire solution into the phone or an app-based solution basically is that each phone manufacturer is different. Each of the hardware devices that go into each of the different phones are different. Each of them have different responses for an accident situation. And it is a humongously difficult problem to put all these things in a phone. And that's why a simple external device built dedicated for that is coming out. So phone is the answer for a lot of
very,
problems.
very respectfully, I don't agree with you. And the reason is, if you look at the camera capabilities of a phone, which seemed impossible until a few years back, today you're watching movies made out of cameras. What we're talking about here is not that complex. It's about figuring out the right kind of impact and having a response to that. I don't think it's that complex as you're making it out to be, unless I haven't understood something.
Perfectly agreed. We have a version that's an app version also, but we wanted a foolproof solution to begin with, which is this. On the day when we have algorithm data to analyze that, we'll be one of the first people to do it, bring it to the app. That is certain. That's a possibility.
This device basically is our initial gateway into the service that you mentioned, which is emergency service. Now, as we are having more devices around us and on our body, our emergency services or the machine-to-human interface is what we are
I think
looking
we
at.
understand. Do we have offers? Guys.
So guys, you know what, I think that this would be actually more helpful. I again have a hard time seeing this being a very B2C business. For the same reason, we do prevention, diagnostics is one of the things that we offer. And it's very rare that you find people wanting to figure out to avoid something. They always come after the illness happens, exactly to his point. So, but I think there is a market which I think this could be interesting for, is I think the cargo market. So I think a lot of the trucks which are traveling, I think the accident levels are higher from what I understand amongst the truck and commercial areas versus private cars.
I really doubt that, Meera, because with trucks, they can't afford a 10,000
So I was coming to that point next, which is that I think the people who own trucks, the fleet of trucks and the cargo, if there's especially special cargo in it, I think those people would be much more excited about having this if your price point was much lower and could be much more affordable. Then I think you have a much easier sales pitch there. That's my opinion.
That's a good point.
The B2C market is driven by people who are concerned about their family. People say, you know what, insurance I pay so much, but I use this every day. But on that one fateful day, that will change my life forever, I'd rather have someone.
But it's usually after the fact. So we get your point. Guys, do we have any offers?
Same here. Going to be passing it.
So I think the way I look at it, I think the best solution for you is to tie up with large auto manufacturers. They are going to be your customers. The way things are, I think B2C will be a huge challenge for you to scale up. B2B is going to be much, much easier. And at this stage, you are not there yet. And it's a pre-revenue company and you're asking for a 25 crore valuation for the company. So I'll also like to pass at this stage. Maybe once you have
Sudeep,
established...
you said the valuation word, that means you're negotiating.
No, I'm not negotiating. I'm not negotiating.
So best of luck, guys.
Thanks,
best.
guys.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thanks for supporting.
The response system.
नहीं R&D क्योंकि इतनी छोटा सा प्लास्टिक की माचिस की डब्बी है.
नहीं मेरे को लगता नहीं है क्रैश टेस्टिंग पूरा हुआ है yet. I think they still need to do crash testing
yeah,
because
but
I don't think that can be either fireproof or unbreakable.
They mention an agency ARRI.
You contact all your family members एक गाड़ी
ARRI से approve किया है यार. They mention in a presentation. Why are you doubting on the prototype at least?
That's not crash testing.
Don't doubt on the product. I mean, they will not come on national TV and lie to you guys, yeah. And they said in the presentation, they said ARRI से okay किया.
Nobody's
That
lying.
ARRI is not for crash testing.
So it's
See,
no,
it's
of
for
course
no
they've done.
Safety.
It's for
So safety crash course से तो आएगा यार.
अरे सेफ्टी की जले वाले नहीं.
I don't think they're lying, but when you build something yourself, you obviously believe in it a lot more than
you
others.
overestimate a lot. Absolutely.